In this lesson, we're going to review negative numbers. Okay, so positive numbers are to the right of 0. Negative numbers are to the left of 0. Okay? When you're looking at a number line, which is what we have here, any number to the right of another number is bigger than that number. So you probably know that 6 is bigger than 4. But it can be tricky to think that negative 2 is bigger than negative 5. Well, think about it like this. If the temperature is negative 2, it's warmer than it is if it's negative 5. So that's why negative 2 is bigger. You can also think about it if you're $2 in debt versus if you're $5 in debt. So you're missing money both ways, but you're missing less money with negative 2. So you kind of have more. That's why negative 2 is bigger than negative 5. So again, any number to the right of another number is bigger than that other number. Okay? Now, how do we work with negative numbers? When we're adding positive and negative numbers, if both of the numbers that we're adding are positive, we simply add them. So 4 plus 6 is 10. Now, if both of them are negative, we add their absolute values and then make the final answer negative. So the absolute value of negative 4 is 4. The absolute value of negative 6 is 6. So 4 plus 6 is 10. But we have to make this negative because both of the numbers were negative. Now, if one number is positive and the other number is negative, we have to find the difference of their absolute values and then give the final answer the sign of the number with the largest absolute value. So that can seem a little tricky, but let's walk through it, okay? So we have negative 8 plus 2. So the absolute value of negative 8 is 8. The absolute value of 2 is 2. So 8 minus 2, that's a difference, is 6. And then if we're looking at the absolute values, which one's bigger, 8 or 2? 8 is bigger, and this 8 has a negative sign. So we're going with the sign of the number whose absolute value is greatest. So our answer is negative 6. Okay? Now, you could have also done that problem by looking at the number line. So if you had negative 8, be right here, plus 2. So plus 2, you're going 2 in the positive direction. So positive 2 direction, and you end up right here at negative 6. Okay, let's try one more. So we have 16 plus negative 6. So we're going to take 16 minus 6, because those are our absolute values. So that's going to be 10. And then which absolute value is the greatest? 16. And that's positive, so our sign is positive. And again, we don't have to write the positive sign, so we're just going to move on. When we're subtracting positive and negative numbers, if you subtract a smaller number from a larger number, the result is positive. So that's like saying 5 minus 1 is a positive answer. Okay? If you subtract a larger number from a smaller number, the result is negative. If you only have $5 in the bank, but you spend $10, your bank account is going to be negative. Now, if both numbers are positive, or if both numbers are negative. So as long as both numbers are the same sign, we simply compute the difference. So we take the leftmost number minus the right number. So the number on the left minus the number on the right. Then we check the sign of the result by asking whether the number on the left, so the left number, is greater or whether it's less than the right number. So remember, if the left number is greater, then our answer is positive. If the left number is smaller, then our result is going to be negative. So let's try this with a few problems. 400 minus 200 is 200. Our left number is greater, so we have a positive result. 200 minus 400. Okay, our difference is 200, but 400 is the bigger number, 200 is the smaller number, so our answer has to be negative. Okay, now let's look at this one. If they're both the same sign, then our answer is going to be the sign of which one's the greatest. However, this one's a little tricky because two negatives actually make a plus. So this is really saying negative 200 plus 400. So that's going to be positive 200. Okay? And the same here. This is negative 400 plus 200. So this is going to be negative 200. Okay? Now if one number is positive and the other is negative, add their absolute values, determine the sign based on whether the left or the right number is larger. Okay? So we're adding their absolute values. So 14 plus 3 is 17. Which number is larger? Which absolute value is larger? 14, and it's negative. So it's going to be negative 17. Okay? Now, we have 5 and 6. So that's going to be 11. Which number is larger? Well, remember, a positive number is larger than a negative number. Okay, we have 8 minus negative 2. So remember, minus negative is really a plus. So that's 8 plus 2. That's 10. Then we have negative 12 minus 16. Negative 12 minus 16, we're going to add their absolute values. So that's going to be 28. And it's going to be negative 28.